Hello and welcome to 20 Lore Pro. Today we are here at Clockwork Games in College Station, home of A&M, for today's Lorcana 1K. We want to thank Clockwork Games for hosting today's tournament and for allowing 20 Lore Pro to come and to watch. We have Maximus, as some of you may know from the 20 Lore Discord, against Just Emma, who has been no stranger to our stream. She has been on the stream several times, and we have competed against her at a lot of tournaments here in Texas. We're excited to see these two come and compete today here at Clockwork Games. If you've missed any of today's tournament rounds, you can head on over to 20lore.pro/YouTube to watch any of the matches. Thank you all again for coming. Here we are in round 4, game 1. Maximus piloting Amber Ruby versus Just Emma piloting Amethyst Ruby. We see on Emma's side of the board this Maui fishhook really early on. This could be a big threat to some of those characters that may be looking to try to quest on Maximus' side of the board. Maximus with that mini mouse surfer. And it looks like a Pluto able to help him cast some of those, play some of those higher drop characters. Glad to see these two competitors come out and play today here at Clockwork Games. We saw Tupaloop during round 4 piloting a Ruby Sapphire list against a different Amber Ruby list. It also played Mufasa. I know Maximus, I was talking to him before the tournament had started. He is also on a Mufasa list. Just Emma using that Rafiki 2 challenge. Able to draw a card. We see a Cusco with a Merlin Rabbit. Maximus playing a Pluto and a Rapunzel. Drawing 3 off of the recovery from Mother Gothel. This combination seems pretty good, not for Rapunzel though. Having to heal her traumatic kidnapper, aka Mother Gothel. Mother Gothel now being at full strength as a 3/4, able to be a strong contender in challenges. Doing just that against Cusco, the little llama, at his weakest state. Maximus taking his turn to go ahead and quest, going up to 5. We'll see what Just Emma could do against this board state, really trying to pick up off a little of these characters from the board. Plays another Merlin Rabbit, and we love to see her Elsa sleeves. Those are really great. Inks a Maleficent. Passes it back to Maximus. These Merlin Rabbits doing a lot of work in these Amethyst bounce packages, drawing a lot of cards for their players. I'm sure Emma's trying to utilize them to the best of her abilities. The Mother Gothel play by Maximus netted him so many cards during that last turn. Really helps kind of drive home the cards that he needs in order to take this match. Let's see what he can do and utilize and capitalize off of that. Emma drawing a Be Prepared. We know she's got the one in hand. Inks the Chernobog's followers. Maximus, having last turn, played that queen. Gets rid of that Mother Gothel. Plays a Madame Medusa. Able to target and get rid of that pesky Minnie Mouse Surfer. Madame Medusa, having done a lot for several players during this tournament, able to target and remove beasts and this Minnie Mouse that otherwise is quite difficult for Just Emma to challenge, except for the fact she does have that Maui's Fishhook on the board, which does allow her to give any character evasive. Here's an interesting card by Maximus playing a blue, the Bodyguard. Whenever he's banished, you're able to gain 2 lore. There's that blue up on the board for you to see. Really, at a game where you're already at 13, not wanting to give 2 more lore to your opponent becomes pretty relevant. Just Emma needing to try to find a way to get to that Be Prepared. Can she do it in time before Maximus gains too much lore? Emma inking, going up to 7, playing that Be Prepared. Emma resetting herself, but Maximus going up to 15 due to that blue. Plays a Hydra. We saw this in another Amber Ruby list. This Hydra really doing a lot of damage to so many different characters. It's become a viable option in this type of a deck list, especially when you're playing more characters. But again, it's taken out by a Lady Tremaine. Lady Tremaine kind of sneaking in there as some of these Ruby Amethyst players are playing both Madame Medusa and Lady Tremaine. Makes it where players are really questioning what they can play next to try to protect their board state. Maximus having a Hydra and a Pluto on the board. No cards in hand. We'll see what Emma could do. She's got 4 so far in her hand. Maximus is 15 to Just Emma's 4 lore count. Able to sing a Friends on the Other Side. Drawing into a Maleficent. What a great draw. Immediately drawing that, inking that Rafiki she drew to banish the Hydra. What a strong draw and play by Just Emma. Even though Maleficent is a 9-drop, she still continues to see so much play just from her heavy power and toughness along with her questing power. The ability just to banish something when it ETBs makes it so powerful. Maximus with another Hydra. I believe this is his 3rd one. Able to really just damage into something and do a lot. Another Lady Tremaine from Just Emma. We're seeing both these players playing repeat cards. Just Emma, though, having drawn more, giving her the ability to kind of have a little bit more options. I'm mistaken. It looks like Maximus does have another card in hand. Just Emma giving evasive to the Maleficent Dragon, trying to protect it. These Lady Tremaines being 3/4s, but they can't quest for 2. Hydra. This Hydra is able to attack into the late Tremaine, do some damage to the other, but the late Tremaine would survive. Here's our Mother Gothel, followed by the Queen, Just Emma reminding her opponent that Mother Gothel does enter the battlefield with damage. Maximus facing a tough board state here by Just Emma, as well as several cards in her hand. Just Emma taking her turn. We're looking at Maximus's 17 to Just Emma's 8. Is she going to be able to take out the rest of the cards on Maximus's board? Maximus being at 17, very close to winning this game for game 1. Uses a Maui to get rid of that Hydra. Hydra then getting rid of Maleficent. Can she do anything else, though? Plays a Queen's Castle, one of the new locations that many of these Amethyst players have chosen to play. Maximus having 2 lore represented on the board, able to play a Pongo. This Pongo, too, can represent a huge threat as it's able to get other cards off the top of Maximus's deck. Maximus trying to put himself in the best position to be able to win. Goes ahead and is able to reveal a Simba off the top. He decides not to quest and double challenges into Lady Tremaine. Just Emma going up to 17 with the goat. Bounces it, as we've seen so many times, going up to 18. That's the game. Wow, Just Emma coming back so quick. Being behind, Maximus being at 13 really most of the game. Just Emma was able to stabilize and then return, giving her the win. What a great show of resilience and just continuing on with the match by Just Emma. Really great to see these two competitors come out and play. We want to thank Just Emma and Maximus for volunteering to be on the feature match in today's tournament. And we want to thank you, the viewers, for coming to today's tournament and watching here on Twitch. If you've missed any of today's rounds, you can head on over to 20lore.pro/YouTube, where we'll have all of these rounds for you later on in the week. If you missed the Hunter Burton Memorial Lorcana Championship that the 20 Lore Pro team streamed last weekend, you can head on over to our YouTube, where we'll have those posted for you tomorrow to watch. We want to thank Clockwork Games here in College Station, home of A&M, for hosting today's Lorcana 1K. Thank you so much, Clockwork, for being a game store that allows the Lorcana community to grow. We want to thank Nexus, a game store in Waco Esports Center that has a esports lounge for those who want to play computer games as well as video games, and a TCG playing area for helping bring the streaming equipment for today's tournament. We want to thank so much the 20 Lore Pro community for supporting the 20 Lore team as we travel around Texas to give you the best in competitive Lorcana. Your contributions help, whether it be from subscribing here on Twitch, going over to our YouTube and subscribing there, or joining our 20 Lore Pro Discord and continuing the conversation of competitive Lorcana. If you'd like another way to support the 20 Lore team as we travel across Texas to show you the best in competitive Lorcana, you can join our 20 Lore Patreon, where we update what we're doing behind the scenes weekly on the Patreon, as well as give you behind the scenes into some of our tournaments and deck tech reviews. Again, I'm your announcer, SirAshtown. Behind the scenes is our producer, Luxac. And today's head judge, as many of you may know, is our founder, Stunning Rob. We're so glad that the 20 Lore can come to you today and Oh, there's Emma's hand. She gave us a quick peek. Appreciate her doing that. We're just so thankful to be able to travel around Texas and show y'all a lot of what the game stores are doing and what the community across Texas is doing in Lorcana. So here we are in round 5, game 2, Just Emma piloting Amethyst Ruby versus Maximus piloting Amber Ruby Mufasa. Well, we know Just Emma has a Be Prepared. Maximus inking a Rapunzel, playing a Mother Gothel, maybe signaling that he has another Rapunzel in hand. We know that Mother Gothel has damage on it. Ooh, Maximus almost dropping his hand to his inkwell. Just Emma playing a Pinocchio, able to get rid of that pesky Pluto that otherwise would have allowed Maximus to ramp into higher characters. Wow, some of these Amethyst Ruby lists playing 1, 2, and maybe even 3 of these Pinocchios. I've seen a lot play just 1. We see it doing a lot for Emma here. We get to see the players' hands. That's kind of a nice little nod that they're both giving us. We appreciate that. Helps kind of strategize a little better. It could be one thing as a player of Lorcana to kind of build a deck and see it online, and another to be able to watch players do it live and just seeing kind of their thought process and the way that they choose what cards to play when and what to ink. And so we're very thankful to have the opportunity to come and to stream these tournaments, but then also like just Emma and Maximus are doing, showing off their hands like me. That's a great treat to be able to see. Here's Just Emma with a Maui's Fishhook. The Maui's Fishhook helped her towards the end of the last game, able to give Maleficent Evasive. I said that and my screen unblurred. I want to apologize. That is a spell book. She does play the Maui Fishhook, however. But the spell book, the first one we've seen from her this match, can really help her gain some lore when she doesn't have a board state like she currently does. Here's Maximus, having played a Hades, playing another Pluto, really has a lot of ink in his inkwells. Also, able to play a lot of cards. We know Just Emma does have that Be Prepared. Not quite at that position yet, but here is a second spellbook. If you know that your strategy is to be prepared, setting up locations and setting up spellbooks like this, not a bad option. Here's Maximus with a Pongo. We saw Pongo last turn giving him a Simba, or last game I should say. We saw Maximus, I'm not sure if he missed the trigger on the Pongo, having paid to reveal it, and if it's a character you can put into your hand. Not sure if he just put it directly into his hand. Twitch chat, if you saw that, go ahead and let me know. Well, here's Maximus, has quite a strong board state here. Emma has 4 ink in her inkwell. I don't think I've seen her ink last turn. Maximus is really going up there. Decides to just quest out. Going up to 12 to Emma, Just Emma 0. I may have missed it. I think he inked at the end of his turn too. Just Emma inking a Queen's Castle, playing a Maleficent. Just Emma's got to find a way to help clear this board. making it that much more difficult due to there being a Mufasa on Maximus' side of the field. We know Just Emma does have that Be Prepared, but she's got to get there. Maximus really presenting a strong board state. I think with Just Emma having missed several of her ink drops, this may have put her behind far enough to where she can't quite come back. But we have, game's still going. We'll see what she can do. And here's a Chernabog from Maximus. What a scary thought to be able to go from a Mufasa to a Chernabog. Just Emma sees the Chernabog reveal and decides to scoop it up. This Chernabog, very strong, able to cost for 3, cost less for each character you have in your discard, and you're able to shuffle all of your character cards from your discard back into your deck. That is a scary thought, though, turning a Mufasa into a Chernabog. Well, what a great game 2 from Emma and Maximus. We want to thank them so much for coming and playing in today's tournament here at Clockwork Games in College Station. We want to thank Clockworks again for hosting today's Lorcana 1K. I'm SirAshtown here with 20 Lore Pro. If you missed any of the rounds from today's tournament, or are going to miss any of the future ones, head on over to our 20 Lore Pro /YouTube, where you can watch all the rounds in today's tournament sometime next week. We want to give a big shout out to Nexus, located in Waco, Texas, for sponsoring today's production. Nexus is a premier gaming venue that offers esports, TCG, and dining. Come by Nexus for our quarterly 1Ks, as well as weekly events like Friday Night Magic, other events such as esports tournaments and fighting game communities. If you're ever in Waco, Texas, head on over to Nexus. Last weekend, 20 Lore Pro was over in Hurst, Texas at the Hurst Convention Center with the Hunter Burton Memorial. We were hosting the Lorcana Championship. Our winner, Lorcana Bro, is here today at the Clockwork Lorcana 1K tournament. Maybe we'll see him later on today. Again, we want to thank y'all over there on Twitch for joining us. If you'd like to follow us and see what we're doing in the future, feel free to subscribe here on Twitch or give us a follow. That way you get notified of all of our upcoming tournaments. We're excited to get here into Game 3. I'm going to take a quick break for just a second, and then we will get started into Game 3 of Round 5. And we are off here in Game 3 of Round 5. Maximus piloting Amber Ruby versus Just Emma piloting Amethyst Ruby. We saw Just Emma come back after being quite a ways behind during Game 2 and taking it back from Maximus. Maximus playing a scary turn 1 queen. Didn't get the 5-drop shift queen, but does play a Mother Gothel. This Mother Gothel being just such a great target for Rapunzel. Able to draw a lot of cards off of healing Mother Gothel. Just Emma using the Maleficent to sing Friends on the Other Side. Has a lot of cards in her hand. Just Emma playing so well in several other tournaments that she's been in that we have been doing coverage for. Glad to see her out here again today at Clockwork's Lorcana 1K. Maximus taking his turn. Has a Minnie Mouse Surfer on the board. This Minnie Mouse Surfer really able to gain a lot of lore if it's not answered by some targeted removal like Madame Medusa. We see that Rapunzel able to draw Maximus a lot of cards in his hand. Maximus deciding to challenge into that Maleficent. And using Mother Gothel to get rid of Just Emma's Madame M's Snake. Trying to remove as many bounce targets as possible and singers from Just Emma's side of the board. We see Just Emma using that rabbit to get rid of Mother Gothel. Just Emma has a clear board, but we'll see what she plays here for 4, possibly a Merlin Rabbit, and there it is. Maximus taking his turn. Decides to ink a Pongo, which is not a lot for him during this match. Rapunzel seeing a lot of play, especially in Ruby Amber, as Mother Gothel is a great target to draw cards. It's hard in those color pairings to find a different way to draw cards, but Rapunzel really represents a lot of card advantage. Here's Maximus with the namesake of the deck, Mufasa. B. DeCandio had taken this last weekend to an 8K and was able to get top 8 with Ruby Amber Mufasa. B. DeCandio also did a deck tech with 20 Lore Pro over his deck list during set 2. Very similar to the current deck for set 3, minus a couple of upgrades. Just Emma. Playing a Lady Tremaine. Maximus deciding to get rid of the Minnie Mouse, leaving the Mufasa. We see that Just Emma does have 6 ink in her inkwell. Maximus may have been thinking that getting rid of the Minnie Mouse was a better option over Mufasa in case Just Emma does play a Be Prepared. We'll have to see if Maximus can present threats, though, enough to warrant Just Emma to play Be Prepared. We see Maximus playing a Baloo, which, when banished, is going to gain him 2 lore. Maximus right now having 2 characters on the board that he's really okay with being banished to Be Prepared. Playing a 3rd character in the form of Pluto, passes it back to Emma. This is an interesting board state to be in. I don't think that Maximus is presenting enough to warrant a Be Prepared, maybe challenges from these characters that Emma has. But we'll see what she decides to do. That challenger Rafiki can do quite a bit, does take out that Baloo. Gaining Maximus 2 lore, taking him up to 10. Baloo's been seeing more and more play, making it a great option for just getting a couple more lore. Mufasa flips into Hades. We'll see what card that Maximus gets back with Hades. It may be that Mufasa. It's going to be a pivotal point for Maximus as he's trying to think of what to get next, knowing that a Be Prepared may come in the future. Decides to get Baloo, knowing that it'll give him a lore. Maximus taking his turn. Appears to have 4 or 5 cards in hand. We'll see what he's able to play. He's got quite a bit of ink in his inkwell to possibly double cast characters. Just Emma's presenting quite a bit of lore on her side of the board with Lady Tremaine and the Rabbit and Rafiki. Maximus decides to ink a dock. Decides to pay for playing a, I believe, a Pongo, the Ruby Pongo with Evasive. I haven't seen this Pongo in quite some time, but it does represent another great evasive questing character. Pongo having seen a lot of popularity in set 1 during Ruby Amethyst splits due to its evasive luring ability. Seeing play here as an inkable evasive character. Maximus playing that Baloo as another protective shield to any of Emma's characters. Maximus now is at 12 to Emma's 10. Just Emma does decide to play the Be Prepared, seeing too many viable threats on Maximus's side of the field. Maximus going up to 14 due to that Baloo. Baloo having given Maximus a total of 14 lore this match, and protecting his characters from otherwise easy challenges. Hades possibly getting back Baloo again. We'll find out. Plays another Hades. There's something about these Hades, when you're able to recur them like this, you can really get an engine starting. Just Emma with her 7 ink. I'm sorry, 8 ink. Staring down these 2 Hades. These Hades have really helped Maximus out this match. Are gone due to Be Prepared. Just Emma may have been afraid of those 2 Hades, possibly due to their questing ability. We'll see what she decides to do during this next turn as Maximus presents a Mufasa. Just Emma drawing off of the rabbit. You see a spellbook in hand, and she has a Queen's Castle with a rabbit on top. The Queen's Castle now able to passively gain 2 lore a turn for Emma, and able to draw an extra card due to the rabbit. Maximus responding in kind with a Madame Medusa, getting rid of the rabbit on the Queen's Castle, not wanting Just Emma to draw more cards. And Just Emma top decks a Be Prepared, which she uses to get rid of Mufasa. What will he flip into? Maximus hits another Hades. Oh my goodness. Maximus having Mufasa in hand due to the Hades. Not what you want to see as a Ruby Amethyst player off of the Be Prepared. I was worried for a moment it was going to be a Chernobog. The recursion that Maximus is showing that this deck is able to have has been quite strong this match. Maximus now going up to 17. What can Just Emma find? She's going to go up to 14 during her upkeep. Maximus playing another character that can quest, presenting game on board if Emma isn't able to deal with the 3. Playing friends on the other side. We see a Maleficent Dragon. Does she have enough to play? She plays the Maui she had in her hand early to get rid of one of the Hades. Forgot her trigger on the location. Her opponent and her understand, though, that she would have gone up to 14 regardless. We have a judge call real quick on that. I believe the trigger must happen during your draw. We'll see what the judge decides. I know it's tough to remember, especially when you're at this level of competitive play and you're at such vital turns. It's very easy to forget triggers like that. We'll see what the judge decides. I know I myself in high stakes games, especially when I'm 3-1, like both Maximus and Emma are, I've made plenty of play mistakes myself. This match really being very pivotal for both players trying to get into the top 8. Well, while we're waiting on the judge call, again, my name's SirAshtown. I'm here with 20 Lore Pro, and today we are here at Clockwork Games here in College Station, home of A&M, the Aggies. We want to thank Clockwork Games so much for hosting today's tournament and for allowing us to come and stream the best in competitive Lorcana. We want to thank you, the viewers, for joining us here on Twitch today. If you haven't yet used your Twitch Prime on another channel, go ahead and use it on us. That way we can continue to show you the best in competitive Lorcana across Texas. If you want to be notified about our upcoming tournaments or events, feel free to follow us here on Twitch or on Twitter, YouTube, and on our Discord. We also have a Patreon where you can join to give us more support as we donate prizes and travel around Texas to show you the best in competitive Lorcana. We want to thank the 20 Lore Pro community for our 3,000 member celebration. Yesterday we celebrated 3,000 members. It appears that Just Emma went up to 15 due to the spellbook, but that was the end of the match. Maximus presenting just enough lore on his side of the board for the next turn ends up taking the game. Well, we want to thank you so much for tuning in today here at 20 Lore Pro and for Clockwork Games for allowing us to host and stream today's tournament. We're going to take a quick break as we get ready to go into round 6 of 6 and then cut into the top 8. Again, I'm SirAshtown. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will be back in just a moment for round 6.